You ever see your own front porch lit up like a crime scene, red and blue lights bouncing off your mailbox and think, well, hell, there goes my quiet Saturday? Yeah, that happened. Two cruisers' engines running parked nose to nose on my driveway like they owned the place. And in the middle of it all, there's Ruby Howard, our self-declared HOA president, flapping her arms around and yelling, "Officer, that's him. He threatened me." She points at me like I'm some escaped convict, and I'm just standing there in a flannel shirt, a wrench in my hand, because get this, I'd been fixing my own mailbox. All I did was tell her not to park her shiny Lexus on my property. But in Ruby's world, rules are more like suggestions, and none of them apply to Ruby. Now, I'm 65 thinking the wildest part of my day would be unclogging a sink. Instead, I'm staring down two cops, a woman who thinks she's starring in a soap opera, and wondering if I'm about to be cuffed on my own land. Before I get too deep into this circus, go on, drop a comment. Tell me where you're tuning in from, what time it is there. Trust me, this story's one for the books. See, before Ruby, Maple Grove Estates was the kind of neighborhood you miss once it's gone. Quiet, safe, nobody bugging anybody. I spent 25 years there. Watched trees I planted as sticks grow into shade. You can nap under, saw the neighbor kids go off to college and come back with their own little ones waving at me like they never left. Retired from engineering at 60, thought I'd fill my days tinkering with old tools, puttering in the garden, drinking black coffee while the world minded its own business. Back then, the HOA was just an excuse to send out lawn care tips and remind folks not to set off fireworks too close to the pond. Fines. What fines? As long as you weren't blocking a hydrant, no one cared. My place is at the end of a cul-de-sac with a long, curving driveway I carved out with my late wife, Mary. Oak trees, hand-painted sign, private drive, no parking. Not because I'm a hermit, just because I like order. The driveway's mine, deeded and recorded, no community access, no shared anything. My neighbors knew the deal: Mark, the retired firefighter; Linda, book club president; Tom, who's got a whole gnome army in his yard. Then one summer, a moving truck pulls up across the street and out steps Ruby Heels, clicking sunglasses like TV antenna's expression, like she's about to fire someone. She didn't wave back when I said hello. Instead, she marched around the cul-de-sac like a general announcing herself, "I'm Ruby Howard. I'm a realtor. I manage properties. I'll be running the HOA soon." Most of us shrugged and got back to our lives. Didn't take long before trouble showed up. Bright orange flyer taped to my mailbox. Notice: HOA, reviewing landscaping compliance. Homeowners may be asked to adjust fencing. Signed, Acting President Ruby Howard. I almost spit out my coffee. Didn't remember voting for anybody. Turns out old Mr. Green moved to Florida and Ruby just volunteered. Nobody objected, because honestly, who cared? Well, Ruby did. Well, suddenly there's notices about trash cans, unauthorized lawn ornaments, Tom's gnomes, and Linda's picket fence. Then Ruby starts beautification patrols. Neighbors walking around snapping photos of violations. The place turned from friendly suburb to surveillance zone overnight. Me, I kept my head down. Lawn mowed, mailbox straight, fence tidy. What could she want from me? Turns out she didn't need a reason. She needed a target. It started with, "Morning, Mr. Kelly, your driveway looks so private. Maybe you should take down that sign," I told her. "No, Ruby, that's staying. It keeps delivery vans from blocking my garage." She smiled tight. Fake dangerous. Next day, her Lexus is halfway up my drive, engine running, door open, her on the phone with the county. I knock on her window. "Hey, Ruby, you're blocking my garage." She laughs. "Oh, relax, Ethan. It's just for a second." I point to the sign. "Doesn't matter. This is private." She grumbles and peels out spitting gravel. And that's when it hit me. It wasn't about convenience. It was about control. My driveway was a challenge, and Ruby never saw a challenge. She didn't want to steamroll. The letters started piling up: wood stain on my mailbox, non-approved fence, too rustic. I'd catch her phone camera flashing from behind her curtains. Linda joked, "She's got more pictures of your yard than her own." I laughed, but it got old fast. Then came Ruby's temporary parking policy. Now any driveway could be used during overflow events. I said, "You can't let people park on private property." "Ruby?" She smiled. "Oh, Ethan, don't you think it's selfish to hoard space?" Nobody wanted to stand up to her, but I did. A few Saturdays later, 3 SUVs blocking my driveway, my garage, even my mailbox. Ruby's Lexus dead center. I step out in my slippers, mug in hand, and there they are, laughing across the street, snapping photos. "Ruby, what's this?" She smiles. "Overflow parking HOA rule." I say, "That's my land check, the assessor's map." Her friends giggle. I tell her to move them or I'll tow them. She snaps, "You wouldn't dare." I pull out my phone, show her the deed clear as day. She storms at me yelling, "You're harassing me, Ethan." I shrug, "Call whoever you want. I'll wait." She calls the cops. 20 minutes later, here come the flashing lights again. Officer Daniels steps out. Ruby rants, "He threatened me. He's blocking a public event." Daniels asks for proof. I hand him the papers. Deed plat map, HOA bylaws. He nods. "This is his driveway, ma'am." Ruby sputters. "That can't be," Daniels says. "The HOA doesn't override county records. Move your car." She does, cursing all the way. Daniels chuckles. "You'd be surprised how many of these HOA folks think they run the world." I'm not surprised, I tell him. That night, I find a fresh letter, HOA stationary notice of community disruption. Hostile and uncooperative behavior, legal escalation, she threatens. I laugh, but I know Ruby's not done. A couple weeks pass. The HOA Festival of Chaos. Balloons, folding tables, a banner. Maple Grove open house. Ruby's in a pink blazer, barking orders, cars parked everywhere, lawns, mailboxes, and yep, right back down my driveway. I call out, "Hey, you can't park here." Guy in a polo says Ruby said it's overflow. I snap, "She's HOA president. I'm the property owner. Move it. One car leaves, two stay." Ruby struts up, "Ethan, why are you yelling at my guests?" "Because they're trespassing," I say. She tries to spin it. "Anything connected to the road is under HOA jurisdiction." "Visibility?" "Sure," I say. "Access?" "No." She waves me off, tells everyone to ignore the grumpy old man. The crowd laughs. I grab my phone, snap a picture of her license plate. "For documentation," I say. She screams, "You're harassing me," calls the police again. This time Daniels and Officer Reed show up. Daniels groans. We meet again. "Mr. Kelly, Ruby rants public event authorized access." Daniels checks my documents, tells Ruby, "Move your cars or get cited for trespassing." Ruby loses it, kicks her own car door. Bam! "He did it," she screams. Reed says, "Ma'am, we saw you." Ruby starts wailing. "He grabbed me." Daniels sighs. That's enough. They arrest her for disorderly conduct, her pink blazer glowing under the lights as they walk her to the cruiser. The crowd's got cameras out viral in 5 minutes. By evening, the whole neighborhood's seen the video HOA president arrested for trespassing. You'd think that'd be the end of it. Not Ruby. She files a lawsuit, claims harassment, defamation, obstruction. Her lawyer Bolton sends a nasty letter. My attorney Sarah laughs when she reads it. "Frame it and hang it by the door," she says. But Ruby's not just suing me, she's turning the whole HOA against me. Next board meeting, 50 people pack the room. Ruby rails about misinformation, blames me for everything. Mark pipes up. "You mean the video of you getting arrested?" The crowd laughs. Suddenly someone projects the video on the wall. Ruby screaming, kicking her car, being cuffed. The board suspends her on the spot. But she's not done. Anonymous Facebook post, county complaints, more lawsuits. Claims I'm running a business out of my garage. The county inspector finds nothing. Her own treasurer, Carl, finds receipts. She's been using HOA money for personal landscaping, dry cleaning, even a fake community project. The board votes her out. County threatens investigation. She storms out of the final meeting shouting, "You'll regret this," but nobody does. Not anymore. A week later, she's gone. "House dark for sale" sign out front. She leaves a note in my mailbox. "You win. But remember, every HOA needs a villain. For once, I don't feel angry, just relief." Maple Grove settles down. Neighbors hang out on porches again. Kids ride bikes. The air's lighter. The board sends an apology, invites me to help advise them. I laugh, but end up saying yes. Someone's got to keep the peace. Turns out rules aren't supposed to punish, they're supposed to protect. When people forget that, you get a Ruby. When they remember, you get a community. So here's what I learned. Boundaries matter, but respect matters more. You can fight for your rights without losing your soul. Peace isn't something you inherit. It's something you defend every day with patience, humor, and a little bit of grit. If you've ever had your own HOA horror story or a Karen who thought she ran the block, drop your story in the comments. Let's see who's had the wildest ride. And if this one made you laugh, shake your head, or just feel a little less alone, go ahead and share, and subscribe. Because in neighborhoods like mine, there's always another Ruby waiting around the corner. And trust me, the saga never really ends.